Welcome to the first episode of In the Pocket. So yeah, no Din. As expected, I keep saying this. So
Yes, get lost, Din. You're not.
Ridwan Johari, 5D Drums is me.
What's up, guys? It's me.
And we finally got our first guest.
Yes, we have Mr. Teo Jia Rong.
Hey! No build up, sir.
we can cut that again.
Yeah, so we got our first guest. Got me a bit nervous today, lah. Even though I've known him for a damn long time.
Yeah, we've known him for quite long.
I don't know. It's like pivotal moment in our series.
Yeah, it's different.
We know each other for so long. Actually, we know.
Yeah, very long.
each other for so
From the
long.
sheds, yeah.
Our guest today is
Mr. Teo Jia Rong.
sexy voice, black cap and all.
Cue the confettis.
Right, recovering from a sore throat.
And he's finally wearing a mask today. For all those international viewers, yeah, mask is mandatory in our country.
Yeah, man.
So bro, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm actually recovering from sore throat. And,
Why? What happened?
I ate freaking KFC.
Don't blame the
Yeah.
KFC, man.
Oh,
I
the
mean-
KFC fanboys are gonna go at you, man.
No, I think overwork. Yeah.
Preparing for?
I mean, a few concerts. We just finished some. We have a few concerts coming up, and then I'm involved in the next S-pop, which is part of
What's S-pop?
Mediacorp.
Singapore pop.
Yeah, so S-pop is basically like a singers competition kind of thing.
Right.
And then they start eliminating as they go. So I'm like the house band.
Oh. Is that gonna be televised or is
Yeah,
like
televised.
Oh, televised.
Televised and online.
Okay, I see. Wow, that one must be kind of a very good experience, I guess. Like quite a different experience.
I mean, I've never done anything like being a house band of a competition before, but I mean, I've definitely done in like those kind of situations where I play for a festival with like different artists coming in and out. So
Right.
I would think it's somewhat the same. Just that this, because it's televised and there are a lot of production
Different
going
kind
on.
of pressure altogether, lah, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of prep, you know, with every episode. So it's got to be quite challenging. lah.
Busy, man. Hey, you know what? Let's warm up this entire episode with some
Okay.
questions. Some
Sure.
slightly unexpected questions.
Okay, so
we
it's
gotta
gonna be
go
a
first.
versus question. So
Right.
first question. Mark Juliana versus Brian Blade.
Brian Blade.
Hold that thought,
Next question, huh?
Brian Blade, let me circle this, I know. Okay.
Okay.
Concerts versus nights.
Concerts.
Oh, snare or cymbal?
Symbol.
Oh, okay.
Wow, okay.
Ah!
Wow, this one.
Speaking of symbols, minor or Zildjian?
Zildjian.
Cool. Lisa or Rose?
Lisa.
Yes. Wow, funny, sia. Okay, last
Lisa.
one. 5D or Ridwan?
Don't answer.
No,
No, don't break our hearts.
Don't worry, I'll
Beep.
Sorry.
Okay,
Okay, so Mark Juliana versus Brian Blade, you chose Brian Blade. So why?
Why Brian Blade? I think I like everything old school.
Okay.
And also like, you know, Brian Blade and Mark Juliana, they both paint very different things. you know.
Okay.
So when I always talk about drummers, I always put them in a canvas and paint situation. Right. So for me, like Mark Juliana is more like a modern painter.
Okay.
Right. And Brian Blade has that old school thing and the new school thing going on. But the way he paints is slightly different from Mark. Mark has that very agey vibe to his playing, but like for me, Brian Blade has this very, very big picture thing.
Okay.
Right? If we talk about painting, then maybe like instead of thinking, okay, I split them up into different parts, and this part I'm gonna have this set of colors and yada yada. Brian Blade has like, he thinks so far is like, this is gonna be my colors.
Okay, I get what you
More
mean.
than like this. So I'm not saying Mark Juliana is that way as well, but like it's more like I can relate
More to Brian
Blade, you know, feeling like how he's gonna look at the canvas, the empty
Okay.
canvas. He's a very simple guy. I mean, you don't see any like very, very like choppy, very like fast, super duper fast things from him. But everything he plays, he's saying something.
There's a meaning behind it.
That's meaning lah. Okay. Concerts versus nights, you chose concerts.
Definitely concert lah. I mean, for me, nights is one thing. I've also played a lot of nights back then, but like having said that, you know, now that I'm doing more concerts,
Right.
the concert has this very grand feeling, right? it feels really good to play on a bigger stage.
Do you think their opinion will change once things get back to a bit more normal? You have more nights.
No, like, I think like from the beginning, I always knew I wanted to play concerts. I always knew I wanted to go on tour. But baby steps, right?
Snare or cymbal? You pick
Is it cymbal?
cymbal.
My answer to this is very stupid and simple because you just need to put one wallet on the snare.
And then
the snare will sound good.
Sound good, yeah. Makes sense, lah. You can work with it, lah.
Yeah,
can work
even a
with-
stock snare can sound very
You see,
decent. That's
So,
true lah.
like my perfect example would be like, I think about two months ago, I went to a super random jamming studio that is behind a shop. The kit is like a pro traveler kit lah. It's all second hand, so everything is taped up and the skins are all worn out already. The snare sounds terrible, but actually all I needed to do was crank the
Crank it up.
bottom high. The top I couldn't crank anymore. It was like so old, right? And then what I did was I took out whatever duct tape that they had, just put a wallet there, and then I'm like, play, not enough. I put my phone. Okay, settled. So
Nice.
symbol, I
Yeah,
cannot.
yeah.
Because whatever symbols that they had there was like the pearl, those
stock heads.
small.
Stock ones, ah.
No, those stock heads are great. Like the 14-inch crash,
okay,
those
okay.
really terrible ones. They cannot save lah. That one.
correct.
But I don't
really
know
cannot.
how you can save it.
How? Put holes.
Put holes in them cymbals, bro.
Guys,
That's how you
guys,
save
find
it.
this tip in making a cymbal sound good. Just drill holes on it. If it doesn't work, come at him.
Yes.
I'm not involved in this discussion.
Next one.
Okay, next one, minor or Zildjian? You pick Zildjian.
Oh.
Yeah, this one we all very excited to know. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know also.
Spill the tea.
Okay, I mean, go all the way back, like when I first started, right? Obviously, Benny Grab was like my go-to guy lah. So everything, my sound, even until now, has always revolved around like how Benny Grab would sound. Even until now, actually. So funny enough, like any other fan, you buy the Mino, you buy Sona, you buy whatever. But as my years matured, I think the past 2 years at least, being in the recording session, I use my own studio. I use Minos because Minos are really nice to just be like, boom, then why, just like bye, right? So I like that get and go in a recording session. So the engineer don't have to compress it too hard. I get a more natural sound on the cymbal. I really like that. But when it comes to live, especially bigger stages, like the ones that I've been playing, doesn't work. Like the cymbals are just too like whoa and no more already. Whoa, no more. But sometimes you need that a bit more sustain, right? So like for example the minor 18-inch extra dry crash will work really nicely in the recording. But if you hear it from a concert point of view, it's just like
In and out.
then no more.
Yeah.
So
In and out. Yeah.
with the music that I play, depends on the music also, right?
Yeah,
But with the music that I play, Zildjian kind of works very nicely with that buttery, slightly longer sustain, with that high, with that meets a bit more scooped up every time you play. Just
Right.
but so it cuts, but it has a nice mid scoop, so it doesn't get in the way of things.
We had this conversation also, right? Like about minor. You were using what, the China
Which
or
one, ah?
something. Minor lah.
Oh, the extra dry 18-inch China.
It couldn't cut it.
Yeah, I was using Dane's one.
Yeah, but
For some
I
gig.
mean, of course, beyond that, you are not playing mic'd up gigs lah.
That was mic'd actually.
Oh, that was mic, and you couldn't cut it.
It couldn't cut it. Yeah, because I mean in the context also I was playing metal. Yeah, so I had the 18-inch. And then I think it still sounded good from the audience point of view, but the sustain wasn't there like what you said, the extra dries.
Right.
But
It
when you
doesn't
are
cut
hitting
lah.
also, right, you feel like you're hitting a cardboard. Like you have to put extra effort to feel that you are actually cutting through the band.
Yeah.
Which I don't like, because you need to you have to exert more force.
Okay.
That's what I feel about DW.
Oh.
You wanna expound on that a bit more?
Okay,
Wait.
notes taken.
DW.
DW, okay.
Yeah. So, like
Controversy.
comparatively, DW versus what?
No, I mean, not versus lah. I tried so many brands along the years, and I feel like with Sona, I don't really need to really like whack it to make it sound full.
Right. Okay.
But with
Producing the tone that you want.
yeah, but with the many like DW kits that I play on, naturally you really need to hit harder to get a full tone out, and also because like the way they beat the drums, also, I mean, it's very clear. Like you look at the endorsees that they have, they're all hard
Hard
hitters.
hitters, yeah, correct.
And it works for
It works for
them.
them.
And I mean, as much as I love who doesn't like to play hard, right? I love to play hard, but like not like that kind.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's just too much. And imagine doing a 3-hour concert.
Like that.
I can't lah.
Yeah,
If it was like a bar gig where I have like 45 minutes break in the middle, sure.
Maybe. But even then, the bars maybe be like,
Yeah. So it's
working too
just
hard.
too much low end. May not be a good thing. It doesn't cut.
Understand.
In other news, Matt Gaska to the
Yes.
W.
Yeah, man, just went
I
there.
think it makes sense lah. I
Yeah.
feel.
He's
makes
a high
sense.
eater, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
makes
correct,
sense. Yeah.
Correct.
It's like Eric Moore and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay, the last one. Lisa or Rose?
Because Lisa is Thai and she looks like my wife.
Oh, correct
So
answer.
now we know. Okay, personally I'll pick Rose lah. So anyways.
It's okay, I mean, it's fine.
Okay, whatever.
Because Sarah cooler than you, bro.
Oh damn, I got roasted.
You were saying that you are doing preparing for concerts and all that. Right? So the first thought I have in mind, right? How come you got concerts in this COVID pandemic crisis thing? You are one of the few people that I know are actively gigging.
I think number one is luck, right? I am super like really lucky to meet different people that offer me different things in the time like this. I don't know if people know, but like I was from SAF, right? I was part of the army band, so you know, in army band, I was still also doing other stuff outside. I mean, I just might as well say like SAF band has always been a part-time job for me than a full-time job, right? So because I was always focusing on building myself outside. So when the time came and I decided to leave, I thought like, hey, will I be able to survive or not? I say, I think can lah. So I spoke to a few people. I spoke to Tama, spoke to my good friend Bentia, spoke to Aaron about this. And everyone's like, I think the world outside got more to offer, right? So I took the chance. I left. So I left in 2019 September, right? So comes October, right? First day of being jobless or being a freelancer, and then like funny enough, I was just like waiting for things to happen, right? So this was like the like first week only, just chilling and practicing and the usual things. And suddenly I got a call. So this person asked me, "Hey, do you think you're interested to do a tour in China like this coming November?" I'm like, "You mean like next month?" So she's like, "Yeah, next month." I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's why I got more details and it sounded right, and I was dealing with Taiwan management side, not Singapore, right? So it was really cool because I found out that the whole band was they were all Taiwanese, so I'm the only Singaporean,
Right.
and like I was like, oh shit, this is so cool. Okay, so I took up the job and I went on tour.
I mean, in order for you to get that call, you must have been noticed in some way or another or referred, I guess.
Yeah, I got referred definitely by another friend, and you know they asked me to send videos and stuff like that. You know, funny enough, like my videos were like all like
In your bedroom,
with what is he, you know, play like
okay.
English stuff lah, like play funk stuff,
Right.
Fusion stuff, you know, with my Mark Lettieri or whatever, but nothing like very like Mendo pop-ish. So I was quite surprised I got a gig.
Right.
Also, you know, so once I got it, then I went on tour lah. So we did like 11 or 12 CDs, and funny enough, like in December, first week of December, my first stop was Wuhan.
Nice.
So I was only there for 24 hours. I didn't know none of this COVID bullshit, right? So once I think towards the third week of December, then the news came out. And I was like, wow, shit. Okay, so what's gonna happen? Because we have a second round of the tour from March 2020,
Right.
all the way till September, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
that's a damn long tour.
Yep. So we had like quite a bunch of stuff going on. So we just got noticed that, oh shit, we're gonna probably get postponed.
Yep.
So my last show was in Hangzhou in January. Right. Then right after that, we stopped. And we waited for news that okay, confirm postponed.
Right.
I was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
And then funny enough, the tour that I was in is run by my current boss. Right. So Adrian. So basically Adrian he's the boss of IMC here. I met him once in the office, and it was just random. He was like, "Hey, oh hi, nice to meet you. Oh, you're the drummer that did this tour for us. Hey, thank you. It was just really nice to me." And then he said, have you heard like we are starting this new live house thing? We want to form a band. We want to make this whole scene like explode. He has like such a big dream, right? He said, you want to be part of it, no? I mean, you're a band leader, like you go and find your music.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was as like simple. It's funny because that was the first time I met my boss, and he trusted me with such a big role.
Right.
And like when it happened, I was like, okay, let's see if it happens. And funny enough, it happened. A few weeks later, he contacted me, asked me to go and gather my shit, get all the people, we're gonna do audition. And so we did. And then I landed the job. It was a full-time job, CPF and whatever.
Yep,
so I'm really lucky, like, since I left SAF, these things happened to me. And because of the people I've met in between, the luck played a very big part of it. Yeah. And I mean, definitely the hard work and the things.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I think you really laid the groundwork very firmly.
Yeah, but I didn't have the funny thing is I didn't have a plan.
Exactly, that was
Correct.
I wanted to get it. You quit SAF without a clear idea of what you're gonna do next, right? And the doors just open for you, lah. I mean, it didn't just open, like you had to do a bit of knocking too, lah. I would assume.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the door was there, for me to see, lah.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
It's really lucky, lah. I mean, to be honest, all the concerts that I've been doing, they're all under my, because of my boss. My boss is like a real baller. He's like everyone. He's like he's perfect in Monopoly, man. Everyone is like dying already. He's like, I will buy your estate.
Well, talking about dying though, like there's so many musicians out there who have to do other things and whatnot beyond music.
It's very important. Like again, from my position, getting hired in a time like this, if you're given an opportunity to give other people a job, do it. Straight away, like immediately when I knew that I'm tasked to do this, like to do this live house thing, I knew I'm given an opportunity to give people a job. I was weighing different things, right? People that I want to play with.
Besides just being the best of the best,
yes,
right?
Forming a band, there's so many different factors, but because of this COVID, who needs the job? And how do I fight for them to make sure that they keep the job and things like that. So this is like me giving back. Right? So I always believe in this two-way thing. It's really, really very important.
Going to your concerts and your shows, right? Let's do the concerts first, lah. Are there any memorable ones that up to date until now that you've done that you feel that you will remember for life? That kind.
Life. I cannot pinpoint right? I cannot pinpoint like a single thing because the way I look at concerts, they should feel the same.
Okay.
So, but I mean, the most memorable one, the most memorable bunch of concerts that I've done was definitely the one in April, right? Like every week we had a different artist, and every artist got like at least 20 to 25 songs. I remember the first week of April, Saturday straight away, and Friday soundtrack. So Saturday straight away start, bam. Okay, then the following week got another two artists, different one. Then the third week also two different one. Then the last one got one. So we had about six artists in 6 concerts, right? But they're all different. And imagine the rehearsals in March, back to back. We only had 1 month to prepare all 6 artists, and the band was like grinding. The band was shouting like mad, learning the songs. And I mean, the band has a very good culture because this band is not like I tell them, hey guys, we got this concert. Okay, go and learn your part. They go and really learn their part, and they really learn our parts.
Right.
So it's really nice when you see like everyone is paying attention to everyone's part. And it's very, very important. And doing that to all 6 is crazy.
Which is a total of what, 80 plus?
So so 6 times 20 over lah. I think we simply clear around 130 over, definitely. I am the kind of drummer that I don't like to write drum charts. Right. I don't read drum charts. I mean, I can, but I don't like to. I like to read chord charts. So, like, my band, we kind of delegate, these people chart this set of songs and yada yada. Once everyone has done their part, then they have to learn their own part. So it's super duper tedious. It's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. Like, it's so memorable because it's such a crazy grind. Right? Like I've never done so crazy things before.
I'm sure it's very satisfying because it's not just like your typical day in day out canto or mendo pop gig, right? Where you can literally just read off the charts. And
these are concerts that you need to like workshop. These are shows that you need MD music directors to clean things up. Right? These are things that you need to sit down and like, does this song flow to this song and yada yada. So it's a very tedious work. Everything. I mean, for people who have really done concerts or festivals and whatever, imagine that times 100 times 6.
Right.
It's mad. So it's super memorable because of this.
And on top of that, are you all doing different arrangements to what is expected in the recording? Different arrangements too, right?
So not every song, but like certain things that we need to change, we have to change. We had 2 concerts that we had Ken C to come over and MD, and Ken is a whole different episode that we will talk about. Ken is someone that changed the way I think about things.
Hearing things that you don't hear, I guess.
In April, like completely different. Even from a drummer point of view, though I see the way he manages different segment of things, small to big, is like super mind blowing. So we had the pleasure of having Ken to run 2 concerts with us, and the rest were just internal, Clement and myself. And it's just really nice.
You were saying about you having this career as a full-time musician after leaving SAF, right? So, for example, if I wanted to do the same right now, in the midst of this pandemic, how can I pursue a career?
Don't. Why would you?
I mean, okay, let's say it's not me lah. Okay, let's say not me. My situation is different, but okay, like let's say an up and coming drummer, you know, he's out from LaSalle, looking for gigs, looking for opportunities, hopefully scoring one Esplanade gig already would be awesome. So
bloody hell.
So yeah, what would your advice be?
Last week I went on Insta story. I asked me anything. So there are a few people that actually asked me a question like this. Should I leave? Right? Should I leave whatever their job is? Right. And my answer to them is the same. If you have better things to do outside right now, meaning right now someone is offering you a better opportunity in terms of money, in terms of experience, in terms of a more positive environment, sure, go for it. But if you are leaving just because you are angry with the organization, it is just stupid. So I would never recommend like people who are, first of all, starting out. Don't try to start out in the pandemic or endemic. Make sure that you have some groundwork. Right? I left because I got some groundwork. There were a lot of people who just go into the forest without a flashlight. And just keep tripping on branches and knock into a tree. Then at the end of the day, you just feel lost in a very big jungle. So why, right? So if you have something out there that is really giving you a better opportunity to earn more money or whatever that you want, then do it lah. But don't be stupid. And because like you're angry with the organization because you're not getting fair treatment right now, and then like you just leave without any plan, it's just stupid. This is an endemic. It's gonna last for a while. Alright. So if you can tahan first, then build your groundwork now.
I think you would have been a lot more different if there wasn't this COVID in the first place.
Man.
I mean, like even for myself, the career jump was a bit of an impulse. It was a bit of a stupid decision too. I think I got to tell you before, right? Like the angry organization is part of the thing, but
because I left because I was partly angry with the organization, but the thing is like, again, I had some groundwork. I kind of built the connection over the years while I was still in there, so I was a bit more daring to leave.
Correct. Yeah. Any weird experiences that you had while preparing for a concert or while playing at a concert or playing for different artists during this period?
I guess more in terms of musical kind of thing, it's always funny when, say from a drummer point of view, since the drum talk, from a drummer's point of view, if I do a certain feel that I thought would work, and then I go back to the recording, I'm like, it's too much.
Okay.
Right. But you know what? That's the weirdest thing, because when you're on, this is something that I really want to talk about also, because when you're on the bandstand, you are fired up with so much adrenaline and energy.
Rates up,
you're fired. So we all been there when you go to this underground jamming studio, and you okay, tempo 97 feels really good.
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
Go on
wait.
stage.
You can say,
What's so slow?
yeah, why slow? Right. Then you like own self go and bam.
Correct, yeah.
You listen to the recording, why song like that?
Yeah, correct.
Exactly. You know, I'm very, very aware of tempo, number one. Okay. If you talk about click track, I'm also very aware of click track, but the click track is more like a friend that lock in.
Right.
So it again, different environment. If I'm doing a recording and the song allows me to be more flexy around the click, I'll do that. A lot of times they wanted you to be really
On the track.
dot,
On track,
you know? So if you look at my session, my 2 and 4, depending on the music, is always like somewhat behind, the bit behind one, because I like the heavy feel.
Yep.
Right, but the kick has to be on the one. You know, so like these are things that you want to talk about. So you know, talking about that in recording, this is what I learned. Right, so I put the same mindset in concert. Right, but factoring the adrenaline, factoring all the different things that are happening around you. You got to be really focused and be really. You just need to really concentrate on like what's the main goal here. Is to play good music. Right. So you cannot let all these different like adrenaline hype you up. Talking about that feel, back to that feel, when I did that, I realized that was the adrenaline thing lah.
Right.
I was like, I feel like this can go like, whoa, but actually, like when you hear recording, you clash with the singer.
Well, I think the keyword here is feel, not F-I-L-L, F-E-E-L.
Yeah.
Because I've done some, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've done a few Mando Pop gigs here and there before, right? For some other people. Anyway, in general, I realized that most musicians, they prefer, I'm talking about non-drummers obviously, they prefer the drummers to be on a click and just be bang on, basically be a walking metronome, right? To count them in, even when it's the intro and like every Chinese song, there's a piano intro, right? But I know piano intro also in bars and clubs, okay, count off with the hi-hat and maintain all the way. So perhaps it's me coming from a different school of thought or different kind of music altogether. I would rather let that be happening naturally, you know. But I guess it's tough to go back in as a band at that exact tempo in the same recording and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had this conversation with Clement and a few other producers a few times lah. And like, I asked them, what do you prefer? Because I only started this recording thing like a year ago. Actually, I this morning I saw on my Facebook, I was like, hey, a year ago I started my studio. Yeah, I have a name for my studio finally. It's called Studio.
What the? Serious? How you spell it? S-T-U-T-I-O.
T-E-O. S-T-U-T-E-O.
Oh my god, yeah, it makes sense. Your surname is Studio.
Oh my god, dude! It's almost as bad as Drums and Stuff. I'm kidding.
Oh, funny, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna pop by studio sometime.
Bad is good. So,
Bad is good. So it's easy to remember, right?
Yep.
Yeah, correct.
So about just a year ago, I started my studio, and like getting into recording sessions, I realized like, wow, you know, sometimes my one not on the one, my divisions are not. But the funny thing is, I was so caught up with that shit.
Yeah.
I was so caught up with looking at the grid. You know, when I zoom in, I was like, wow, why am I here?
Yeah.
But
Slightly late.
at the end of the day, does it matter? That wasn't what I was thinking. So I had this conversation with Clement and Clement Yangtze, by the way. So Clement said something that just like was so obvious but blew my mind. He told me, why you think so much? It's all about the feel. If you switch off the click, the metronome, the example was that I was playing to this track. This click was happening,
Right.
but it was so ahead of all the recorded tracks. So when I played, I was like, oh, like why do I feel so rushed? Right. I can't lay back properly. But deep down, I know I need to lay back.
Right.
Deep down, I know the metronome is something wrong. So I was like, I just play, stupidly follow the click, and I just like, as long as my beat one is with the grid and my snare, whatever, my feels are correct. Okay, done. Right. So I went there. I met him later in the day. I told him about this problem, and then he just tell me, why do you don't want to shift the click, or why you don't want to shift the track behind? And that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, huh? Is it? Then he told me, a lot of times it's the feel of the groove, the feel of what you are playing. It's not so much about the grid. So, you know, many times if you hear like certain things and you look at a track and it's like, hey, the one not the. But if the feel is correct, does it mean that it's wrong?
Right.
Yeah, true.
But if you were to play exactly on the grid, can it still feel good?
It can be if the music allows it to be. If it's like some George Duke disco,
Right.
80s, 90s kind of thing, it's really cool. It has to be on the grid, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. But if we're talking about something that is like ballad, 70,
Bit more
60.
pullback,
Yeah.
laid back.
The kind of stuff, your 2 and 4 don't have to be very straight on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't make sense to go straight. Right. And funny enough, if your 2 and 4, see, this is your 4 grid. Okay.
Yeah.
It can be as wide as you want. My
Right.
fingers cannot spread. It can be as wide as you want. Your 1 and 2 can be here, it can be here, it can be
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Alright. So between that 2 and 3, same thing, 3 and 4, same thing. So you see, if your maybe I put here like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. If your snare is just behind your 2 and 4,
Yeah.
that leaves this amount of space, correct?
Yeah.
And vice versa, this one, same thing here, right?
To the one.
So naturally your 1 will sound a bit later, ma.
Yeah.
Earlier, sorry. Right, you'll sound a bit earlier.
Yep. The
But-
distance is shorter.
Yeah. But when you hear it, drum only, why like that one?
Yeah.
Right. But actually in the music, right, if the track is done right, if everyone is playing with the right feel, it's correct one.
Right.
It feel very correct. Right. So I still do this. It's not a mistake, but my tendency is still like my 1 is like a bit behind. Right, because of the 2 and 4.
Right,
being
right,
behind.
right.
Right. So it's almost like they all got shifted.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
more the camera will be.
Yeah.
All they got shifted lah. Right. But for me, the feeling is correct, and that whatever Clement told me really, really resonated with me a lot.
But disclaimer, playing laid back or ahead doesn't mean rushing or dragging the
No.
entire song, right?
Yeah.
Because
I mean-
I have met musicians who were like, oh, screw the click, we go by feel. And then we start from one tempo, right, plus 10 by the end.
Right.
Right.
So this thing is a very big topic to talk about. But to cut it short, everyone is responsible to play time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
just the drummers,
Yeah. The cliche is that every time that something fucks up, it's always
It's always drummer's fault.
it's always the drummer's problem,
Teo Jia Rong.
right? So that's a cliche. But the crowd is not. Most of them are not educated that way.
Yes.
Right. So just put it out there. It's everyone's job
Yeah,
to
it is.
keep time and to play good time.
Like Mike Justin and Eddie says, the only reason why drummers seems to hold more responsibility is because we are playing the rhythm
Yeah.
or subdivisions more of it. Most of the time, it's the most audible rhythmic instrument.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's about
Man.
it. Concerts and all. Any pet peeves or not? I remember seeing one you were talking
Peeves.
about. You put on Instagram. Do not tune the drums. Let's talk about that.
That was smooth.
The smooth
Segue.
transition.
That's not my pet peeve.
Oh,
Right.
there's more.
That's not my pet peeve. But let's talk about that.
Okay.
A certain place that I played few months back. For those who didn't know, there was my iPad is that size, right? So it's a A4 paper, right?
Before we put it, yeah.
Right. So basically, I put my first thing I do is I put my iPad on my stand lah.
Yeah.
Like tune lah, clink clong, clink clong, clink clong. And then suddenly this engineer came up to me and was like, bro, you tuning your drums ah? Like, yeah. Sorry, you cannot tune it. I think, huh? Why? It's like, we have this rule here. This you cannot tune your drums. They're like, where? Where is this rule? Then he took out my iPad and said, oh, here. So there was this really big sign that says, do not tune the drums. Wait, so I said, wait, you're kidding me, right? They said, no, this is really the rule. I'm like, I'm already tuning and I don't give a shit about it. I said, because it was a Whitney Houston tribute.
Right.
Okay? And the floor tom was tung. I mean, what's the song? Exactly. Is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Are you?
Cannot, man.
Cannot,
Are you kidding me? So, I mean, obviously I didn't care lah. I tuned whatever lah. Then the snare was so high, it was like popcorn snare.
Oh my
And
God.
with Britney song cannot lah. So I tuned kind of like mid tuning kind of thing, and like I didn't care. But you see, this is not my pet peeve, but this is something that I need to talk about because I asked him why
Yeah.
in the first
What's the
place
logic, right?
got this rule, right? Why? The engineer told me because sometimes drummers come and play, they don't know how to tune, sound like shit. Okay, so like the engineer, basically you're telling me the engineer just don't want to lion with this shit. So they just put a rule there and say, do not tune the drums. This is the best that the drum can sound in the place.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Number one, I'm not just any other drummer. Number two,
Yes,
I know how to tune my
but
drums.
Correct.
Okay, I know how to tune my drums. Number three, this is the most important thing. Why isn't there any communication? Why isn't there any communication between the engineer and the musician?
Yeah.
Not just drummer. If you're telling me one day, say, I tune my 10-inch tom and whatever tom like shit lah, you could have just told me, hey bro, the tom sound a bit funny. Sound a bit quite flabby. Can you like help me you can tweak?
Correct.
Wouldn't that be better than like a piece of paper saying do not tune the drums?
It draws the wall between the entire teamwork.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this way at all. And this is a very, very, very unhealthy working system. Okay, everything musician to monitor to front of house. These three is very essential. Communication wise is super duper essential. It's very important that the drummer or any musicians know what to tell the engineer. Okay, because not necessarily everything has to be loud. Because what's the first thing that you will tell the engineer if you can't hear something?
Bring it up.
Bring it up, right? But what if it's not about bringing it up? What if the volume actually okay? What if it's just an EQ issue?
Right.
For example, the kick drum. If you cannot hear the kick drum, if the kick drum is just a loud kick out, no kick in, right? Do you tell the engineer to bring up the kick out? Usually, right? Everyone just say, hey, sorry, kick more. Then in the end, your mix is just like, no, it's just not even it's just woo, it's just kick out. Right? It's not even kick in, it's just woo. So this is something that I've learned along the way. Like, instead of saying louder, ask yourself if it needs to be louder. Right. If yes, sure. It has to be only a dB issue.
Right.
Okay. If it's an EQ issue, meaning you need to cut. The sound is actually okay, but you need to cut. That's an EQ issue. So then tell the engineer, maybe the kick, is there a kick in inside? Oh yes. Okay, can you help me bring the kick in up a bit higher first? Here. Okay, kick in I think okay, but it's not cutting much. Okay, can you bring up the 5K a bit? Maybe do a narrow Q and see how it works. Okay, it works. Do that. Don't be like this one louder. Everyone's just gonna be loud.
No. And your everything on the mons.
Your engine's gonna explode.
Yeah.
And then so this is a proper communication with the engineer. I do that all the time. I got my talkback mic all the time. One of my favorite monitor engineers is Mark Spencer. And Mark always has this template that he's a musician as well, so he has this template for every different musician. And when you work with him, and then you hear, hey, you play it's really like it's like 60-70% there already. All you need to tell is this one a bit like sharper a bit, and this one floor tom maybe can scoop the 400-500 a bit, and then that's it. He's such a like easy guy to work with. And this is communication. Alright, so do that lah. Don't put a stupid paper.
Yeah, you put a piece of paper. It's kind of disrespectful to the musician too, right?
It is very.
As musicians, we want to express our form, our art, our sound, right? The sound guys are there as part of the team to help you, right? But once you put a piece of paper like that, you draw the line and
like
the whole thing breaks down. So other pet peeves, think that like if you really see you stand on the throne, not step on the throne, sit on the throne.
My pet peeve is definitely angle. Drum setup angles. Like if
the tom angles.
No, like whatever, everything.
Or like your National Day angles. Insert National Day angles.
That's your
my favorite. Well, you need to put it there. You put it in the screen.
Angle, put
you gotta put it right there. No, I mean, I think like for me, like the positioning of everything is very important for me.
Yeah.
I will feel very irritated or annoyed if, like, say my right cymbal is like
very low on the right.
Like tilt like away like a bit.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean.
I don't know. I mean, for me, my right cymbal is people always ask me, why your right cymbal so high? Right. I mean, for me, it's not because I like to reach out for the sky, but because first of all, my signature stick is long, right? Because I wanted it to be long, and when I'm playing, it's already at this position. I'm not reaching out. It's actually like that.
Okay.
Right. So, and I like the old school way, which is like tilt a bit facing to me, so I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this.
It's all ergonomics.
It's just here. And maybe it's the way I play, the way my stick feel around my hand.
Right.
It just works this way. Right. So if my right cymbal is like in some weird ass way, tilting it, or like say for example, this is the worst. So a lot of concerts got drum shield.
Yes.
So drum shield you can see yourself.
Yeah.
So say from this angle, 2 toms like that. Looks very nice to me. Then it looks very good. Then look at the drum shield, right? One tom is like
oh my god, you're OCD, you're not so sad.
I'm actually OCD.
Flatten.
It's like a bit like that. Wait.
But you know what's the worst that could happen? If you set right, it will stick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is one of my.
That's Bidon's kind of gigs, everything will fall apart.
Ouch. So you must experience the shittiness first to experience the best things in life.
Right.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
kind of bass drum.
Because if
hits,
not, you won't appreciate this kind of thing.
It's not the phlegm pad, It's
Yes.
duct tape. Black duct tape in a cross.
Yeah.
That kind of gig.
I mean, we've been there, done that. All the gigs where like I remember this one gig that was the absolute worst. It was a Yamaha Maple Custom green color one.
It wasn't the drums, huh?
wasn't
He's
the
not
drums,
talking about the drums, right?
Oh, no,
talking
no,
about
no,
the
no,
gig.
no. It was the gear lah. They never maintain lah.
Yeah.
Floor tom was on the leg one, not the 3 legs one. It was on another tom stand kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Tom stand mounted on the
Oh, okay.
leg
Using
stand.
an arm, lah. Right.
And Tom just kept going like this. Then Tom one also. She just gave, like, there's no way. Like I used the stick, like also no use.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I just told the guy, sorry, can you help me just remove these 2 toms away? He said, oh, so your gig no tom? I said, yeah, because your tom is fucked up. So in the end, the gig, I did like one cymbal, one right, kick, snare, head, done.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. That was a gig at Padang or something. Man, that was bad. That was really bad.
You cannot worse than this.
I went to, I think it's Indonesia lah, not here lah. At Indonesia, right, the throne is a bar chair being sawed into
Bro.
half.
Oh. He want to be Chris there already.
So my leg is very long, right? So I need to play the pedal. But then that position, I'm literally, my knees are up. There were no thrones at all. Then I'm like, okay, just get me like, like those pasar malam chair, right? I take the chair,
the
then
plastic one. Yeah.
I step on the bar chair, then I sit down.
Sure.
I was shaking, bro, the entire time. But no more already. I need to save my gig already. So I just did that, lor.
I feel like the points of context are the most important. Like throne, adjustable, because we all are of different height. I mean, like obviously you guys are damn tall, right? I cannot possibly sit on some of your heights. I mean, I can, but may not be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pedal must be decently functioning. Like
It was to a point where like, I mean, this was like maybe 10 years ago, right? When the backline companies, they don't maintain their instruments.
Correct.
Because there weren't any companies that were offering repair services. Right. Or most of them need to sell overseas, that kind of thing.
Right.
So there weren't any like Pentium percussion or
spare parts will take months to come in.
percussion works. Do I have all these things?
Yeah.
Right.
So people don't repair lah. They just spoil it by.
Yeah.
Right. So back then I was so frustrated, right? That like I was so ready to go to a gig where I know the chair cannot adjust on. So you know what I do? I go practice low and high.
Wow.
I go practice both.
Good. Actually, that's a very good kind of mentality. If you cannot save that, just make yourself being able to adapt to all the different heights.
Of course.
I've played a gig where I'm sitting low.
Your
and
knees are up.
my snare is like on my
Holy
chest.
crap!
My snare on my
Like
chest.
that, like that. Oh, you
So
play that. Check that, yeah.
Like your chair like that.
Yes.
The Swiss will be proud of you, bro.
Oh, man.
Actually, I don't know. I wonder, like, if like the throne is like the most important things, right? Why isn't like drummers going to a gig with a throne rather than bringing?
Like you
cymbals?
are. Why you bringing like 20 cymbals but no throne?
They chase, yeah.
Yeah, actually quite leceh lah.
Leceh,
Quite
yeah.
leceh.
Actually, if you think about it, right, your cymbal bag can hold a throne, right?
No, actually, Popeye has a carrier for their throne because they got very nice thrones, ma. Then they got their own carrier also.
I'd rather bring a throne than a snare, lah. Just saying. Because people say wallet can already.
Yeah, that's why.
This to be honest, these days I don't really bring out my gears.
Yeah.
I just
Because people got backline.
Yeah, that's why.
Walao eh.
been blessed to not have this issue of like doing my own shit. Yeah.
Hashtag we are not so blessed.
Yeah. Hashtag bless us in few years time.
Oh, everyone is blessed in their own way.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the interview. I want to thank Jia Rong for being here. Before we end, any last words that you want to tell the audience right now?
The last words.
Any last words?
Dying like
Yeah, any last words? Yeah. He's still alive, don't worry, but any last words?
Stay smart, be humble, work hard, play good music, avoid politics. Just be an overall nice human. Good things will come to you.
There we have it.
Good things will come to you.
Good things
Thank
will
you
come
very
to you.
Or come on you.